Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Nick Chino from VigilanteDetective.com, and welcome to my latest rock album review for the new box set from the late, great Chris Cornell, simply called Chris Cornell. Yes, this is a 4-disc box set celebrating the life and work of Mr. Chris Cornell, who we unfortunately lost last year. The singer of Soundgarden, Audioslave, Temple of the Dog, solo artist, amazing vocalist, one of the best rock vocalists ever, maybe just one of the best vocalists period. And you know, this is not so much a review as much as it is a celebration, because I didn't really want to do a review of a box set that features, you know, so many classic songs anyway that we know are amazing. And really, it's not just about being critical of Chris Cornell. It's about celebrating his life and celebrating his work and just celebrating the fact that this guy gave us so many incredible songs. And I just wanted to kind of do a video, just talk a little bit about, you know, kind of my favorite songs from Chris Cornell, about my fandom, and kind of appreciate his work. And actually, if you head over to VigilanteDetective.com, I'll put in a link here as well. I did an article when Chris Cornell passed away in 2017. I did an article which is, I think, like 10 or 15 songs, Chris Cornell songs, that changed our lives. And really, there are so many songs of his that changed our lives. He wrote so many incredible songs. So you can check out that article right now on VigilanteDetective.com. As for my fandom of Chris Cornell, I've been a fan of his for a long time. I've never been like a die-hard Soundgarden fan, but I've been enough of a fan to really dig into their catalog, as well as his work with Audioslave and Temple of the Dog, a lot of his solo stuff. He has so many incredible songs in his catalog. You know, when it comes to some of his more recent work before he passed away, I really loved the Soundgarden reunion album King Animal from 2012. That was just a fantastic record. It's like Soundgarden never missed a beat, and they came out with some of their best songs that they've ever made, as far as I'm concerned. And I also really like 2015's Chris Cornell solo album Higher Truth, which featured Nearly Forgot My Broken Heart and a lot of great songs. I'm glad that he was able to make the music that he did before he passed away, and kind of left us with so many kind of great kind of current songs that he had been working on before he died. And he was still making amazing music. This was a guy who was still at the top of his game. His voice had never been better. And you know, I was really sad when he passed away. I was actually working at the radio station at the time, and I had to go on the air and talk about Chris Cornell when he passed away. And it's kind of hard to put into words, you know, how you feel about a specific artist, especially when you're kind of put on the spot. You're on the air, you're a music fan, and you kind of have to reflect on what you feel about Chris Cornell, but also try to bring in the audience and help reflect on that with them. So I remember that night we just played a lot of Chris Cornell songs. We celebrated his life, and I was really happy and glad to be able to be on the air at that time to pay tribute to the late, great Chris Cornell. And that said, I was really looking forward to digging into this box set. Thankfully, I didn't have to go out and buy a 4-disc box set, which might be a little bit pricey. I was able to bring up the box set on Spotify, so I was able to listen to it on there. And you know, obviously with this box set, it's kind of made up of all sorts of different material, you know, kind of best of songs and kind of highlight songs from all over Chris Cornell's career. So I was already familiar with a lot of songs on this record, but you know, there are some major gems in there, and it's like, it's just amazing to hear kind of some of the things and some of the songs that he was doing kind of compiled into one thing. Unfortunately, the only downside of this record is that we weren't able to fit more songs onto this album, because obviously there are a lot of great songs missing from this record. In terms of some of the songs that I thought should have been on there, Blow Up the Outside World, The Day I Tried to Live, My Wave, Fell on Black Days, Jesus Christ Pose, so many awesome songs on there. Obviously, they can only fit so many, but you know, they kind of missed a bunch that I was really looking forward to. And then some great inclusions, some great songs that they included on the record that I was glad that were in there. Sun Shower, which is a song from the Great Expectations soundtrack back in 1998. One of the best Chris Cornell solo songs you will ever hear. It's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful vocal. I was glad Burden in My Hand was in there. It's one of my favorite Soundgarden songs. Cochise, they included his collaboration with Slash, a song called Promise, Live to Rise from the Avengers. Even though there are some songs that I miss on this record, they did include a lot of great Chris Cornell classics. And then on disc 4 of this the box set, it's made up of all different live versions of different performances with Chris Cornell, you know, from Audioslave, from Soundgarden all throughout his career. And I do enjoy some live Chris Cornell stuff. The only thing is that I felt like because he was a guy who sang, obviously his voice was amazing. He sang in such a high register all the time that I felt like sometimes on these live tracks it sounds like he's struggling a little bit. Obviously it's not an easy order or to go on stage and be able to sing those songs the way you belt them out in the studio. I just always felt like Chris Cornell, maybe struggled a little bit live with having to sing like every night. But I do think the live tracks were really enjoyable on disc 4, and it's a nice addition to all the studio tracks we get on this box set. And of course on this record it's all about Chris Cornell's amazing voice and his songwriting. And yeah, there's no score for this rock album review. It's just kind of a tribute to Chris Cornell. I just wanted to talk about this box set and how great Chris is and how we miss him, and we wish he was still here and he was still with us making music. I was kind of looking forward to hearing what Soundgarden would do to follow up King Animal. Maybe they might release some of that material if they recorded any in the future. I think they were working on a follow-up at the time of Chris Cornell's death. And like I said, I didn't really want to do it's a 9 out of 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10. Chris Cornell is a legend. He will be missed, and I didn't really want to do a score. I just wanted to do a nice video about Chris and just express how I felt about him and how I feel about his music. I was actually in my car the other day, and My Wave came on in the car, and it just rocks. You know what I mean? It rocks. It's catchy, the lyrics are great, the vocals are great, the performances are great. Matt Cameron, drums, come on. There's no one better. Soundgarden, Audioslave, Chris Cornell, Temple of the Dog, it's all fantastic. So that's what I wanted to say for this video. The new box set from Chris Cornell is available now. Like I said, you don't have to go out and buy it if that's a little bit too pricey for you. You can go on Spotify, or I think probably Apple Music as well, and stream the whole thing and just enjoy the life and career of Chris Cornell. So we'll see you guys in the next rock album review. This is Chino, out.